Well guys, the title is pretty much what I think, and maybe X79 is actually dead in 2024. It has been a very good platform for a long time, but age has been catching up. However, I think there are still a few applications for which it may be a good buy if you get the components cheap enough. So let's get straight into it. Well, first off, what is X79? It is a high-end desktop lineup launched quite a while ago. Again, the socket is LGA 2011, not because it came out in 2011, but because it has 2011 pins. But still, this thing is 10 years old to this date, so pretty old platform. And when it came out, it did not have a lot of modern features like NVMe SSDs and a lot of similar things. However, there has been quite a bit of refresh, especially over on AliExpress, from new motherboards made from questionable vendors, adding USB 3.0, NVMe support, and a lot of stuff. I've even seen a few with USB-Cs on board, which is kind of crazy. But that's where the first distinction starts. So we have on one side the branded X79 motherboards, like an Asus Sabertooth X79 or an ASRock motherboard or an MSI, and on the other side we have these, so the Chinese unbranded motherboards. Now there are also some good ones like the Huanan C1 or the Machinist ones, which are actually good motherboards, but still they have a massive difference compared to the original branded one, and that is VRM quality and heatsink quality on the board. Now that's the main differential, because it's gonna impact directly what you can do with the board. So the only use case I still see for normal motherboards, being like Sabertooth, those kind of boards, is if you get an overclockable CPU, and if you overclock them hard enough with a modern CPU cooler, which is going to be much better than what was available at the time, like this one right here, well, you can still get quite a decent performance out of it. I am not really referring to the i7s for this lineup, because the best CPU you can get is an i7-4960X, which is a 6-core, 12-threaded CPU, which honestly hasn't aged so well. The IPC, you can kind of feel that it's slow. Even if you overclock it really hard, it's going to still be slow than a Ryzen 5 3600, so it's not worth the buy in 2024 in my opinion. But I am referring to the Intel Xeon E5 1680 V2, and now that is a fully unlocked CPU with 8 cores, 16 threads, and that will work on any X79 motherboard out there. Now there are various of these CPUs. They start from the 1650 V2, which is overclockable, 6 cores, 12 threads, but I recommend you get the 8 core, because in 2024 more cores matters, and also we have an IPC limitations, so the CPUs are not that quick. So we want to at least make up for the lack of single thread performance by having more cores. So it's very important to get the 8 core. If you do buy an X79 motherboard for cheap enough, and now what's the price? Well, good question. I would not pay more than 50 bucks for it. Even a good Sabertooth, I know the market may not be agreeing with me, but I find there are a few outliers out there which you can buy for 50 bucks, maybe 60, and get away with it and still have a decent platform. Now, unfortunately, the reason why most people buy X79, especially Chinese boards, is that other Xeons are very cheap, but the overclockable ones that I am recommending, they are not as cheap. They are still around 40 bucks. Now, 40 bucks is not a lot of money, and a good combo I can imagine is as follows: Intel Xeon E5 1680 V2, 8-core, 16-threaded, X79 motherboards, preferably an Asus motherboard like a Sabertooth, and then 32 GB of DDR3, because this is another big limitations of this platform. It has only DDR3, but DDR3 ECC RAM, and I would get 4 sticks, which you can buy genuinely for 10 to 15 bucks for 32 GB, so RAM is really cheap. The whole combo will set you back 100 bucks, and if you overclock the CPU, and I have a full guide, you will find a very younger me, even though I'm still young, but I have a full guide on how to overclock on X79, and if you overclock your Xeon to over 4 GHz, 8 core, 16 threads, it's gonna run great. And you can put like a GTX 1080 Ti in it, or a 2080 Ti even, and really play games and more importantly, do workstation activities very good with that. The reason why you want 4 sticks is to use the quad channel. So quad channel will double the speed. So if you get DDR3 1600 MHz, but you run it in quad channel, you're gonna have 3200 MHz RAM, which is basically DDR4 speed. So we are kind of going around the having just DDR3 with this trick. So this is what I do recommend if you want to buy like a proper old X79 motherboard. Now the Chinese ones, what I recommend you do, like here, is basically the complete opposite. So for the Xeon build I proposed before, you should also get a good water cooler. Maybe a cheap one, but definitely a good one. Whereas if you go the Chinese route, these VRMs are not gonna cool anything. They're really bad. So you wanna buy an E5 26 series CPU, like a 2680 V2, for example. Or you can also buy an i7, but maybe a locked model. Like what I have here is a 3820. Now these CPUs cost like 10 bucks. It's pretty good value. The Xeons cost like 15 bucks, the locked versions. Just the unlocked ones are expensive. So if you buy just one of these cheap Chinese boards which costs 30 to 40 bucks on AliExpress, and then you just get a cheap Xeon, 10, 15 bucks. Again, you get the same RAM as before, then you get a stock cooler. You're gonna have basically a full combo with a cooler too for like 80 bucks. And it's decent value. And again, what I do recommend you get is a 2670 V2, because it's the best value for money one. It's 8 cores. You're gonna need the cores because, let's be honest, if you overclock the unlocked Xeon, performance is gonna be good. But if you're running a locked Xeon from this era, single thread is gonna be terrible. So you wanna at least have the cores for it. It's still gonna be a relatively slow system. I can see this for office work, for very light workstation tasks, and you can game on it, but don't expect high refresh rate gaming on it. You can put like a GTX 1660 with it, would be a good pairing. You can play 1080p, maybe even 144 Hz, sure, like on Apex Legends, but nothing more than that. But if you think back like 2 or 3 years, the fact that you can spend like 200 bucks and get a running gaming PC, it's not bad. Be careful about the temperature of these boards, the Chinese ones, they do overheat a lot. Make sure you have good fans on your case. Make sure you buy one with all the connectivity you need, and don't expect BIOS or driver support properly done on these. And if you can, try to buy a branded one. So I recommend Machinist, I recommend Huanansi. I don't recommend this. This is an unbranded one. It's gonna work, but the BIOS is very limited and it may just break from one day to the other. So be careful when buying. I think X79 platform really is on its last days, but I think if you're an enthusiast, if you want to overclock, you can still do something around it. And budget-wise, it's not too bad, but it's not as good as it was a few years ago. I think the meta right now for old stuff is X79, which is why I made a video about that, which maybe if you want, you can go check out. And either way, if you found the video informative, maybe drop a like and subscribe to the channel. And more importantly, if you have more tips or if you disagree with me, please drop a comment so we can talk about it and maybe I can learn something new today. See you guys again, hopefully, if you don't dislike me too much. Bye bye.